friends, thanks for joining me today. So today's tutorial is something a little bit different. We won't be making a card. What I wanted to share with you is how I go about doing a 6x6 one sheet wonder card. So, well, actually it's cards, because from this, from a one piece of 6x6 designer series paper, I'll be able to create 6 different cards using cardstock, of course, and other elements that you'll need to make the card. So what we have here is I created this template, and I use Silhouette Design Studio to do this, but you can probably find some place, other places that you can do it online. I've always used that, and it just helps me better. I can visualize it, and I can make the boxes every size, the size I want. So, and it works for me, then I print it out. And basically, so this one, I knew what I was going to do with it, and I then include the sizes of each piece for the designer series paper. Now, so if I were to take a piece of designer series paper, I'm using, what's this one called? Thoughtful Journey. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. The colors, the designs on it, I mean, it's just beautiful, right? And, I know some of you probably would be saying, like, I don't want to cut that up. I don't want to cut that up. Well, I know, but you got to cut it up. It is really pretty, though. So what I would do is I would take one sheet and I would place it on top. So now I've got a visual of, okay, I know this is 6x6. How do I want this cut out, right? I know I want to keep this tree here intact, so I'm glad that this is where I have the 3x3. Now this over here is a little tricky because we've got one piece, here, let me move that, that's 1 inch by 3 inches. And then you have 3 pieces that are 1 inch by 1 inch, right? So you can flip-flop those, like you can do the 1x3 up here, and then these down here, maybe do 1x1. That's an option. Then you have these other pieces here. You've got 4 that are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And those would be these pieces. Here, let's move this back. It would be like this area here. So do you see what I'm saying, that you're getting that visual? And then you've got this 2 by 1.5, and then the 2x3, and then the 3x3. So the 2x3 would be like this area. So look at your designer series paper and decide, okay, how do I want to cut this up? And that will be your basis for making your 6x6 one sheet wonder. You can also do this with a sheet of 12x12 designer series paper. You would obviously make your template bigger, and you won't be able to print it out unless you have a big printer that prints, big cardstock. I used to, but it stopped working, so I had to get rid of it. But let me just show you the cards that I created using this template. So we have this one here, and this is using that 3x3 piece. And then I have layering pieces. I actually embossed this with a new embossing folder. It's the Fun Patterns embossing folder. Really cool. It comes with 2 different folders. One has got these little daisies, and then you got like these diamond patterns here. But they're narrow, so they're too narrow to fit on the front of the card base, right? So what I did is I took the white cardstock, put it in one side here, ran it through, then took the other side, and I don't know if you could really see that. It's might be hard to see on the camera. And then I did just a little piece on this side. Then I put my focal piece in the center there. And then I added the sentiment and some festive pearls. And the sentiment comes from Thoughtful Wishes, which is actually the bundle that coordinates with the Thoughtful Journey paper. So I use this thanks here. I'll put that aside. And then for the label, I actually used the Wonderful Thoughts dies, which coordinates with this. So there's lots of nice sentiments in here that actually cut out with these dies here. I used, let me take this out of here so you can see it. It's not so glary. I used this one right here to create, where did I put it? Thanks. And then I just offset it, create a little interest. The next one is using these 3 little squares here, which are 1 inch by 1 inch. Again, I put some layering pieces. On this one, I chose to do a strip down the center with the ribbon straight down it. And again, I did that same thing with the embossing folder, half on one side, half on the other side. And you can't even see the seam because I covered it up with that strip of cardstock and ribbon. And then I added the pearls, and again, the same sentiment. Always need thank you cards. Our next one is using the narrow 1 by 3 inch designer paper. And for this one, I decided to tie a little bow around it, put the layer down. And again, I used the other embossing folder. I just had it. Here we go. The daisies. And what I did with this one is I went horizontally. And again, because it was too narrow, I did put it in again so I can get, did I do it that way? You know what, actually, I think I did it vertically on this now that I see it. Yeah, I did. So I did vertically, but what I did is I made sure that these pieces, and again, you probably can't see that in the camera, but they kind of like, you know, like it looks like it goes that way. So hard to explain, but hopefully you understand what I mean. If you're not sure, leave me a comment. So I did the same with this though, ran it twice, and then I added a with sincere sympathy. Where did I get this stamp from? I believe this is from Heartfelt Hexagons. I really liked the way the font was on this. So, and then added the festive pearls again. And I used, I think this ribbon is retired. It's a Misty Moonlight, but I believe it's retired. Now for this one, I used these larger pieces down here, which is 2 inches by 1.5 inches. And again, layered them on Misty Moonlight. I used the Stylish Shape dies. And then I used Congratulations from Wonderful Thoughts. Stamped that in Night of Navy. Misty Moonlight. And then I die cut it with the Congratulations die. So really cool. And if you're like me and you don't like fussy cutting, these are perfect. They cut out the words for you, I think. And I think that's why I bought it, because I love the way that looks when you cut out the words, but they just never look right when I do it. So I'm so happy that these are available to me and I could use them for my card making. So, and again, I ran a strip down the center and put ribbon over that. So another quick and easy one. Then this one I kind of made a mistake on. So I wanted to do the whole background with the embossing folder, but I ended up stamping first, and I put this down to see where I needed to stamp this, so it was too late for me to emboss it. So, oh well, no embossing on that one. But for this one, I used the 2 by 3 piece and just tied a little ribbon, added some embellishments. These are the In Color 2023-2025 In Color dots. So, and that card was done. And lastly, we have the pieces that are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and you have 4. And this is why I like to have like some sort of pattern, and I like to keep it continuous, so it kind of looks like it's still a pattern. And I added some of the die cut pieces from the Thoughtful Wishes and Mossy Meadow and Fresh Freesia. And then again, I stamped thanks, and I put that ribbon across the center here. So very easy, and there's 6 cards made. just by using that one piece of designer paper. This one piece created these 6 cards. And of course you have to add other things too. You know, you definitely need your card base. So there you go. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed what I just showed you, let me know in the comments. And I will probably be making more of these. And I'll, if you're part of my email newsletter, I will email them to you. So definitely, if you're not and you'd like more information about that, sign up for my newsletter, which I send out once a month. Have a great day, guys. Till next time. Bye-bye.